friends and family of AD, and welcome back to Words of Wisdom Wednesday, where every Wednesday we try to meet you at and give you a little bit of the word. Welcome to the back deck. My lovely clothes that's been on the line for a week because I just not have wanted to go out and get them off the line. I love clothes on the line. I think that's probably one of my guilty pleasures, if you can say that. I love hanging clothes on the line. I love it. I don't do it in the wintertime because I don't like to freeze my fingers off. But other than that, from spring to late fall, I got clothes I don't like. So this is the Wednesday after Memorial Day weekend, and I hope that you had a great Memorial Day weekend full of friends and family as you gather together to remember our fallen heroes that have fought for our country and our freedom. If I am just brutally honest with you, it's been a difficult weekend for me. I would say that's probably a safe bet to say that it's been a tough weekend for Brett too. We have had a dynamic change in our house. Our current placement was placed somewhere else, and he was a good kid. Every kid's a good kid. Sweet, he's funny, charming, all the things. We just had some issues with some behavior modification that Brett and I felt like that we just weren't equipped to help with. And we were very pleased because, God comes through. When we bring God our troubles and our sorrows and just our confusion and our mess and our madness, he pulls out all the stops. And we were very glad to hear that his new family, the father is a child behavioral therapist. So I think that he will be on the road to success from here on out if he decides that he will accept the help that will be offered to him. Other than that, this Memorial Day weekend, I worked my usual shift. Saturday morning, I had an individual, a call that I responded to where a younger person took their life. Had some friends of his that are on a volunteer fire department that actually responded to the call. It's pretty difficult for them, and as it would be. And that individual said they didn't see it coming. The person didn't show any signs. A lot of times they don't. But if you could just be in prayer for the first responders and, of course, the family. And other than that, Brett and I woke up Sunday morning to weather alarms going off on our phone. And our county actually put out an all call for all volunteer fire departments asking for anybody that was available to respond to the county over to help with damage from a tornado that had landed. So Brett and I offered our services and we went up. We didn't see a whole lot of damage. We got there. We live in the other part of the county, so it took us a while to get over there. And they had already made a way to the other county, and we got to the incident command station. And then a little ways up, a couple miles up the road, they had a triage station set up, and our OEM director contacted the other county's OEM director and told them, have an off-duty medic. If you have injuries and stuff that you need help with, would be more than happy to send her up there. And they, I think between the two of them, actually decided for me to station where we were at to help our county volunteer firefighters, to help them in case heat stroke, heat exhaustion, heart attack. Luckily, nothing happened. And I can say, it was bittersweet. The destruction that happened, of course, was very sad and unfortunate, and I hate it for the victims, but it was really awesome to see our county, all of our fire departments but two responded, and neighboring counties showed up. I am actually a member of a fire department in another county, in several of my fellow volunteers showed up, and it was it was really good to see. So, um, yeah. Yesterday, I responded to a call in our community where a family lost their 5-month-old. I think it was SIDS. I don't think there was any foul play, anything like that involved, but there's just been a lot of grief and a lot of havoc going on in our broken world in our small little communities. So if you could bend God's ear a little bit and just intercede for these victims and their families and just ask God to give them extra hugs and to send more angels to them to watch over and protect them and to comfort them through these times. So that brings us to where we're going to be at today in the Bible. I'm in my message Bible today because I was too lazy to walk out to the car and get my normal Bible or my regular Bible, but I really love the message Bible, especially for devotionals, because it's just poetic to me. It's more tangible to me. Studying it, I usually use a different Bible, but for just devotional reading, I think that this is great. And it's raining. It's raining. Okay. I'm going to pause this and I'm going to move inside. Well, wasn't that something? You're just getting the grand tour of the house. So here we are in the living room. Let's get into our Bible passage. We are in Luke. We're at Luke 10. We're starting at 25 and we're going till, damn, I see it, 37. Let's turn the light on. Maybe that'll help. I look kind of silly with these sunglasses on now, don't I? All right. Defining neighbor. Just then, a religion scholar stood up with a question to test Jesus. Teacher, what do I need to get eternal life? What do I need to do to get eternal life? He answered, what's written in God's law? How do you interpret it? He said that you love your neighbor, your God, with all of your passion and prayer and muscle and intelligence, and that you love your neighbor as well as you do yourself. Good answer, Jesus said. Do it and you'll live. Looking for a loophole, he asked, and just how would you define neighbor? Jesus answered by telling a story. There was once a man traveling from Jerusalem to Jericho. On the way, he was attacked by robbers. They took his clothes and beat him and went off, leaving him half dead. Luckily, a priest was on his way down the same road, but when he saw him, he angled to the other side. Then a Levite religious man showed up and avoided the injured man. A Samaritan traveling the road came on him. When he saw the man's condition, his heart went out to him. He gave him first aid, disinfecting and bandaging his wounds, then lifted him onto his donkey and led him to an inn and made him comfortable. In the morning, he took out 2 silver coins and gave them to the innkeeper, saying, take good care of him. If it costs any more, put it on my bill. I'll pay you on my way back. What do you think? Which of the 3 became a neighbor to the man attacked by robbers? The one who treated him kindly, the religious scholar responded. And Jesus said, go and do the same. So I'm looking at Mabel. Mabel's Mabeling right now in my dining room. She's being ornery. She's been a toot today. So last week was EMS week. And when God gave me the message about the Good Samaritan, I'm like, all right, fits in the box. And God said, no, that's not what I wanted from this passage. And then this weekend happened, and God told me this morning during our talk out on the back deck that it's time. It's time for you to share this message. So my question is who's your Good Samaritans? Who's going to come cut up your trees? Who's going to help you out of the rubble? regardless of what that rubble looks like, if it's destruction from a tornado or a house fire or shambles where, maybe your significant other is needing some kind of medical attention or first aid. Maybe it's your car's broke down on the side of the road and you need help. Who's going to be your good Samaritan? I see a thing on Facebook here a while back, and it was talking about volunteer fire departments. And a lot of these departments, guys, they don't get paid. They may get a little bit of money. Our department, the department that I'm on, when you respond to a call, you get $15. And that's to help pay for gas. And sometimes you're on those calls for a couple of hours at a time, if not more, especially if you're working like a fire, God forbid somebody's house burns. But they're there. So these people respond this Memorial Day to go help this neighboring county cut away trees to gain access to houses and roads, to be able to get help to them, to be able to get ambulances to them. They took time out of their Memorial Day. They took time away from their church family to go help those that were in more need. So the thing on Facebook said, I don't care if your fire departments are selling pictures of their feet, buy pictures of their feet. Support your local EMS, support your local law enforcement and your fire departments, because they want to make a difference. If you hear about a fish fry or a fundraiser or whatever that they're trying to do, more than likely it's to purchase a truck or new gear or, to help with education. You guys know I'm passionate about my job and what I do. I love my students. I teach part-time for paramedic program. There were 3 of us. There's 2 of us now that are teaching. I have it during the summer by myself. I start today on Wednesday for summer hours. So I love people, and I say a lot of times people ask, why do you do the things that you do? If every day was death and destruction, I probably wouldn't still be doing this. I am marked on my 21st year in public service work, and I always tell people I don't know it all. I don't claim to know it all. I know just enough to get myself into trouble. I learn constantly every single day. My students teach me just as much, and my coworkers teach me just as much as what I try to instill in them. There are a lot more happy times than there are sad times, but I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't from the love and support from my friends and my family and my coworkers, my bosses, that make all of this worthwhile. So yeah, so hug your loved ones and give them just a little extra special attention, and pray for victims' families. Give your first responders a thumbs up. If you see them at the fire department, just run by and say thank you, or if you can, donate. If you want to make a difference in law enforcement, fire, or EMS, go visit your local fire department, or come see me. Come see me, and I'll get you hooked up. I'll get you hooked up on the path that I have taken. So thank you for joining us. And there's one other thing that I wanted to mention. So Light in the Wilderness Church in Ash Flat, we are going to be, Pastor Stan and Deanna have decided to take a break this summer. So TNT Ignite won't be a thing for a while. Miss D and I were supposed to get together on, I think it was Tuesday, and things kind of went catawonkus. So God, I guess, just decided that we weren't supposed to get together Tuesday to record for service or TNT Ignite for Sunday. On any account, I have spoken to Brett, and I think we're going to resume our devotionals that we were doing before we received our first foster. If you had been with us within the early days on Facebook in our foster adventure Facebook group, you know that we prayed in the kids' bedroom for a couple months before we received our first placement. So we're going to resume that. As far as fostering goes, I think that Brett and I are going to close down our house. I think that we're done. We had our last placement for about 10 months, and we were very fortunate to have him. We're very thankful for what God showed us. And it was one of those things, God has a sense of humor, and he always, no matter what, he really wants to give us the desires of our heart, even though we don't know if it's the best for us or not. And I was vocalizing pretty strongly about my struggle with this last placement, and God was just like, hey, you asked for this. This is what you said that you wanted. And so here it is. And, I think that just our time with foster care is over. And I'm not saying that we won't be helping out still, because I'm sure that we will. We would still love to be able to partnership with an organization or with a county, or help raise funds, or to gather. I have a whole crap ton of stuff here. I've got stuffed animals, and I've got luggage, and I've got deodorants and toothpaste and everything that I had bought for kids in our home. And of course, they're not going to be used. So I'll be glad to donate to those for kids in need. So yeah, be looking for the devotionals. And you think, well, devotionals, what kind of devotionals are they? Well, they're actually from an old children's Bible story book. And you think, well, I'm not really interested in that. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. So we started reading these at the children's home at supper time to the kids at the table. And Brett and I learned just as much, if not more, from these stories. There's some of them, like the details in them, that was like, I didn't hear about that when I was a kid, and I didn't learn that as an adult. It's really neat. They're really neat, and they're, of course, in a way that it's tangible to us. And sometimes we just don't understand. We don't understand the stories. So be looking for that. It will probably start on Sunday afternoons, as we have, and we'll just work our way through the rest of the book. So I hope you have a great rest of the week. I have a conference that I'm attending this weekend with work. I am looking forward to a break with that, and it's kind of seesaw here. Start back to school, teaching this week, and then I get a week off from my full-time job. So yeah, just hoping to get out on the water today, and it doesn't look like it. I'm probably not even going to get clothes out on the line, considering that it was raining. So, but it looks like the sun's shining now. Mother Nature doesn't know what she wants to do, so I'm just going to sit and wait until she figures it out. I'll see y'all next time. I'm gonna quit talking. I don't know why I'm rambling. I'm rambling. See ya.